This is Brendan. Oh, hi. So you watched the video? What'd you think? Oh, you couldn't understand that graphic? Okay, so the red icons mean 0 and then the yellow icons mean a 1. You don't see the difference between red and yellow because of color vision deficiency. Okay, well, I can fix it. Okay, thanks for calling. Bye. Hi, I'm Brendan. I'm an instructional designer with the Center for Teaching and Learning at the University of La Verne. And welcome to Teaching Tools. When I create educational content such as videos, graphics, charts, and animations, I want to ensure that I'm eliminating any barriers between my learners and their ability to understand the content that I've created. One such barrier is color vision deficiency or color blindness. Everybody sees color a little bit differently, but colorblind folks in particular might have a hard time telling the difference between certain colors, such as red and yellow. 4.5% of the world's population is colorblind, in fact. And so that means that in a group of 30 learners, at least one of them could have some sort of color vision deficiency. And so that's something that we need to account for. So we're going to talk about two kind of broad groups of people with color blindness. There's red and green colorblind and blue and yellow colorblind. So most people with color blindness have a harder time telling the difference between red and green colors. And within this group of red and green colorblind folks, there's actually 4 subcategories. For some people, green looks more red. For other people, red looks more green and less bright. Others might be unable to tell the difference between red and green at all. A less common type of color blindness is blue to yellow color blindness. So now that we know what color blindness is and we have an idea of the different kinds of color blindness, what are we going to do about it? We have 4 visual design tools that we can use to help learners distinguish between different objects within a graphic, video, or animation. Those tools are contrast, pattern, shape, and size. So let's look at the animated graphic from the start of the video, and I'll show you how I used each of the 4 methods to make this graphic more effective and more accessible to people with color vision deficiency. So remember, the goal of the graphic was to illustrate how every group of 30 could have one learner or more who has color blindness or color vision deficiency. I varied the contrast in each of the objects, and contrast is the difference in the color between each of the objects as well as the difference in luminance or brightness between the different objects. I also added texture and cross-hatched patterns to some of the learner icons to help distinguish between each of them. And I also added an additional stroke around the icons for the colorblind learners to make them pop a little bit more and stand out. And then I also varied the size. The colorblind learner icons in the graphic are slightly larger than the others and are oriented opposite from the other icons in the graphic. So that's a variation in shape as well. So I've made a good first step. I want to ensure that my content is accessible to all learners, and I want to do that for 3 reasons. First of all, everyone deserves to learn, and I care about my learners, and I want them to benefit from my work. Second, if my university or my organization receives any federal or state funding, it needs to meet or exceed federal and state standards for learners with disabilities. So that includes the Americans with Disabilities Act. Third, the additional effort that I put into ensuring that my content is accessible and does not present barriers to learning for any individual learners results in better content for all learners. The design tools that I used just for this video, made that graphic more effective for all learners. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and stay tuned for my next video where we will discuss how to make your videos accessible to learners who are hearing impaired. Thanks again. I'm Brendan. Take care.